Hi, welcome back to My Cup of TV with Jenny,
JD and Kat.
So, ATEEZ. I'm not going to pretend that I'm not obsessed.
You wouldn't be fooling anyone, even if you tried. Like,
yeah, absolutely obsessed. I love a studio tune, and ATEEZ have done many, and we've never done one.
You haven't.
No,
I've seen them all.
So I just looked at what was on the list there, and Answer is one of my absolute favourite ATEEZ songs, and I try and sing along really loud. As in, I sing along loudly, I just know that my Korean is not quite right.
I never want to hear one of those things where you have the feed into the microphone and then you strip back all of the background. You just have that vocal and you're like, oh no.
It's probably just me going, no, 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 like a thunder. And that's it. So please remember to like, comment and subscribe. In the comments, which song would you like to see ATEEZ do on Studio Choom? Cyberpunk. It's the only answer. Move on. I love this song so much. His hair looks so perfectly placed. Mess it up a bit, go on.
Look at his boots.
Oh, right, cowboy boots. Oh, look at that shirt. So I'm having all kinds of Jungho problems right now. Oh!
I see you, Jungho!
Oh, Jungho! Love it! And the concept of him turning to Erin going, wait for it, wait for it. They are not afraid to be sexy in their choreo. Here he comes. So pretty.
Oh, the belt holes.
Just so swaggy. Look at you. Is that like a jacket or a cardigan
That Mingy's got on. It's really nice.
He really likes a long jacket though. It really just shows off how tall he is.
Yeah.
Oh, Sam looks rough.
I love the white bit in his hair.
Yeah.
Go on, Jungho.
He's very intense.
See, when he's being sassy,
Yeah.
it's Jungho. So that could be like a fucking hair shampoo advert. His hair is so shiny.
Jungho! That sound looks really good. Oh, a hair sweep! Who is this man? Oh. Wow.
We've found our way back to this screen now because Jenny was not able to function afterwards, so that means she has been attacked.
I don't know who to start with, to be honest. I didn't get enough Yosang, but I never do.
I must say that I think we said at the concert, didn't we? I'd really like to see. It'd be great if they want to. I don't know if they're going to go into this. They may not want to, but it would be great if they did some more solo bits where we could hear more vocals individually. Because I do think that Yosang actually is, which I think was really nice highlighted in Halazia. Yeah. He is a baritone that they could make more use of. Yeah. Which he will be a stable vocal in there because his tone is so different. But we don't hear enough of him in isolation, I think. Like, we need to hear just more.
Well, do you know what? Maybe if they don't want to go into solos, maybe some unit tracks.
Yeah, that's it.
That'd be good.
Yeah. But yeah, I do. I think you're right. Don't get as much as of Yosang.
But he did look beautiful.
He looked lovely. When he has blonde hair, I think he looks like an elf or something.
He looks more innocent with blonde hair.
He looks ethereal because he's so beautiful.
And he does glow. I have proof. My photos, he's glowing.
Yeah.
No one does that thrust move like Woo Young does.
All of them have a different feel when they do it.
I think it's because he's wearing like leather trousers as well.
Woo Young is cheeky.
And the tongue. Yeah. The tongue was there. Yeah.
When Songhwa does it, it's sassy. And it's almost like got attitude.
There's an intensity to when Songhwa does
it. Yeah. Whereas when Woo Young does it, it's like...
there's a bit of cheek to it.
Yeah.
You can also imagine like he'd be doing it without music going like, hey! You know? Yeah. Songhwa has a problem.
It's called you.
He is another one of those people that when it comes to sexy, the dial's broken. It won't go down.
Yeah. He's another one for me that I feel... There's certain idols which I feel, whether you are a man or a woman, and no matter what your sexual orientation may be, you will look at an idol and you'll be like, this person is just sexy. They're not even in my orientation or whatnot, or what I'm traditionally attracted to, but this person is gorgeous. I feel like Songhwa is like that. I think that he's so statuesque that anybody could look at him and be like, this person is gorgeous.
And it's a charisma that he has.
Yeah.
It's very alluring.
Yeah. And there's also...
There's a maturity, I think, about Songhwa as well.
Well, he's the mum of the group.
Yeah.
And I think he's got a depth to, like, his soul in a way. Like, you can just tell.
At the concert, there was a moment when Yasang was saying he wasn't tired. And San said, okay, push-ups, do push-ups. I've never moved my camera so fast.
Yeah.
And Songhwa got in the middle of them and just went, calm down, calm down.
It's like their mum. So Songhwa's the mum of the group, Hongjin's the dad.
But it's just a real... You know, it was an off-the-cuff moment where he was real just, no, calm down.
Love that, yeah. But he also, in that snake print shirt, is very lovely. And that's so sad as well, because Songhwa, he doesn't have the highest confidence for how talented he is. And he doesn't have a lot of confidence. And so he gets very emotional when, especially like ATEEZ or family members or other members tell him how much he means to them. Aww. He gets really emotional. He doesn't see himself the same way other people do.
Yeah, I think because even when he's performing, the attitude he puts on to perform and the attitude you slightly see maybe when he's not on, it's like he feels his role in the group is the mum, the comfort. He doesn't necessarily highlight his own abilities as his role in the group. I mean, I don't know about vocally because I don't feel I've got a good chunk of vocal to know exactly where his vocal sits.
It's very nice.
But I think performance-wise, he's often in the middle, he's often in the centre, he's often at the front because, the performance...
He's given a centre role for a reason. Yeah, he just doesn't see that about himself, which is so sad.
But is that one of the real endearing things about him?
Yeah, I reckon so.
That there's not... you know, look at what
There's
they've
there.
achieved and what they're still achieving. Yeah, and there's no hint of arrogance.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that in any of them actually that there's any hint of arrogance.
I'd want him to be more confident in be feeling reassured.
Yeah.
But yeah, like never to lose in a way that that pureness, that innocence that he has, which is sweet.
Yeah. So where was Jungho? Because that wasn't Jungho.
that was a Jungho. Yeah, that was a sad. I did say to Erin, so Erin got Jungho'd at the concert. She was like, "Oh my god, this man!" So, and I was like, he's pretty sassy and he's really funny because he's deadpan comedian. He's not the Mungnae. That's Woo Young is the honorary Mungnae.
Do you know what? I think of him as very serious, obviously, and the vocal. But at the concert, I saw much more of his silly side. He was laughing. He was causing trouble. Woo Young is innocent. It was Jungho.
Yeah.
And I just thought it's so nice to see the Mungnae. There he is, you know.
Yeah, but he's another one that, and I don't know what happened, or if he just again wears that stage mask very well. But I felt like when they were Keiki Fellas and they released the teaser dance performances before we knew what anyone's role was going to be, Jungho in that is sassy as fuck. And he can dance, he can move and whatnot, but yet throughout ATEEZ journey where they are up to now, he's taken like he doesn't go as hard on the choreo because he's saving his strength for his live vocals and whatnot, but he can.
You only notice that if you watch him directly. As a group, you don't notice.
Yeah, exactly. They do so well at blending. But he's another one that I don't think often shows his sexiness, even though it is there. But it was there in the KQ Fellas dance performances.
It was there.
And it's there every now and again, but he doesn't always touch on that. And that's why I think it's a surprise when we see it.
Yeah. I feel like they went into that going, Jungho, look, you have to, it's sexy, you have to do sexy. He's like, fine, I'll do sexy. And then he pulls that out and they're like, what the fuck, Jungho?
Just let it out.
Do you know what I think it is with him though? I get the feeling that what we're seeing from him and that kind of intensity is actually he takes his role within the group, his vocal, being idol, he takes it very seriously.
Yeah, it means a lot to him. He's been singing since he was young.
So I feel like he's very much there's a time for mucking around, but I'm working and I'm going to do it well.
Yeah. And also, again, because to the naked eye, unless you know what you're looking for, there's so much to think about going into performing and belting the way he does live. You've got to concentrate.
Yeah.
You can't, otherwise you fuck that up.
Yeah.
So he does, yeah, you're right, he does take that seriously. But yeah, it's almost like he tends to take more of a role that's understated, maybe because he's more concentrating. And I suppose that's a really good example because the studio tunes is obviously the produced track and they're performing for it in like high definition. He doesn't have to worry about the vocals, so therefore he can play around with a little bit more, bring in the sexy. But yeah, you'll in the live ones, you won't see him. He is obviously still sexy because he's doing that live vocal. He's an artist. He's fantastically talented, but yeah, he normally stays a little bit more understated because he's concentrating on his vocals.
And I think you have to look at the group around him as well. You've got a group with introverts and extroverts. So you're always going to look quieter, more serious next to Woo Young.
Yeah, or sad and whatnot.
Do you know what I mean? They are doing
the performance. Yeah. And that's what I mean. I think that's really good because there's this fantastic balance within ATEEZ that not everyone is... There's so much talent all there that they can choose what members are going to take which role in which song. So
some are more chill people, some are more high energy,
and it can switch from song to song. Yeah, so it's good. No one's fighting to get their shine on. There's enough room and space for everyone, and everyone's got amazing talents to bring. So
talking of extroverts, you know, he was being sexy in this.
I'm just like to say he was wearing trousers. My man was wearing trousers with zips down it. It's just an invitation.
You say your man. I don't think you can just claim him like that. Because at the concert, to be fair, it wasn't that at the concert. We had Puppy
Yeah, he was playing around a lot more.
I've even got a video of him with the balloons.
Yeah.
Playing with them. And at one point he grabbed a balloon and he's doing full choreo whilst holding onto this balloon.
He didn't want to let go of it.
You know when a dog has a ball and you're offering them something, they're like, I want it. but I don't want to drop this ball.
Yeah.
That was him doing his choreo with it.
Yeah.
Actually, out of all of them at the concert, he's the one who had the most fun with the choreo, I feel.
Can freestyle is very good, and this is what I said to you before, is just because someone is a very good dancer, they may not have the ability to freestyle, but and Mingy can both freestyle.
But
really
what I mean
well.
is, he was having the time of his life, even in the choreo. Again, I've got it on video, where they're mid choreo and he's grinning to the crowd whilst completely hitting every bit, whilst everyone else is very focused. He's at one point, they're doing choreo facing forward, and he's right in front of us, and he turns sideways and does his choreo sideways to the crowd
to include us.
Whilst grinning and being like, "Yay, this is so fun!"
It's just like second nature. It's really well the way he does it. It's very charismatic.
But in this, he was really powerful. Then the choreo is very like punchy, powerful moves, but he was really,
yeah.
San, as always, looks hot. I worry for him.
He always goes hard.
He goes so hard. And his body, people aren't supposed to bend those ways.
Yeah. I think he was wearing blue contacts, or the lighting at the beginning that was on his face looked like he was wearing lighter contacts. He looked beautiful.
I'm not sure. I always get really distracted by like his jawline and cheekbones.
I think he was wearing contacts. His eyes,
and his hair
really
in this is
lovely.
amazing.
Really nice.
And that outfit is like.
I was gonna say I liked all of their outfits. Yeah, it was like. There was obviously a clear theme, but it was also slightly dishevelled.
Yeah.
Although for some reason, I will say this, is whenever they do the dishevelled look, Jungho always looks put together. Everyone else always looks dishevelled.
So does Songwa.
They always look so put together. I'm like, guys, rough it up a bit.
I imagine they come in and like ruffle Songwa's hair, and they go, right, and he goes, okay, flicks it like that, and it goes,
they're like
perfect.
They're just like angels, fairies. They're just like,
yeah.
Just goes back to being perfect. But yeah, no, San looked really good. I really liked the, I think San and Hongjun both had a form of chain or something on their trousers, which was nice. They're just like pops of little bits of jewellery. It was good.
Hongjun wears stuff that shouldn't work. But on Hongjun it works. When Erin and I recently did Celebrate, we were talking about how hot Hongjun looked. We were like, the man is literally wearing a frame on his face, not glasses. And literally it just goes across the nose like that and back like glasses, just the bottom bit, with a little dangly charm on it. And we're like, how is that working? He has a mullet. He's wearing a long coat. He's wearing cowboy boots.
I warned you that though from the beginning. I was like, there are mullets in ATEEZ. There were things that you did not know that were hot. But
he
looks
hot. Like he should have a cowboy hat as well and be walking into a bar in a movie, and he's like the weird eccentric guy.
Yeah. He's had a mullet while wearing a fur coat. And I'm like, that's a boss man to be able to pull that off. And I think that's what it is whenever they pull out stuff, and I'm not totally against it. There may be a day where someone tries to pull something off and I'm just like, not quite feeling it, or I don't think that quite works. It's my personal opinion. I've not experienced that yet. And I don't know if that's just a compliment to their charisma.
Yeah.
That they pull things off that you said many times, like sit down the high street, you're like, that just doesn't work. What is that? But yet you're like, oh my God. So they pull off a lot of stuff that's really good. And I love that ATEEZ are very brave with their fashion.
Yeah.
Even from the beginning. Really funky choices. They like using length in coats, fur coats, mullets, funky hairstyles. Like, yeah.
Hongjun likes a long coat, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And, segue, so does Mingy.
Yeah. I liked that. I didn't know if it was coat or a cardigan, but it looked nice. And I really liked it might have just been, it happened that they were filming that day and that's what he had, but his orange hair was like the pop of colour in that whole palette, because it was predominantly like black and white and greys, and then his hair was like pop of orange.
You know how we talked about like Felix from Stray Kids and Yosang, about how their voice doesn't match their face? Mingy's absolutely suits. When that deep voice comes out, you're like, oh yeah, that works.
Because he's so tall, you're like, this feels like it's from the bottom of a volcano. It's just
the
erupted.
way, as well, I was thinking this during the concert, I may have said it to Erin, the way that Yuno and Mingy are very similar in height, both great dancers, but the way they dress so differently really shows off the different physiques that they have. Because Yuno will wear quite baggy tops with quite fitted bottoms, and he looks very lithe, very slim, very lean, you know? He's very tall and lean. Whereas Mingy is usually got something long cardigan but baggy trousers, and he looks just solid.
Yeah, yeah, it's interesting. But you see them together and they make such a presence.
Yeah,
which is so cool.
Mingy does have a presence, doesn't he? He comes in. It's not just the rap comes in with a punch. It's like Mingy. You don't even always need to hear the fix on, even though I love hearing the fix on. There are so many points in the concert where you just heard everyone shout "fix on" because you knew it was coming.
Well, you know, it takes a very confident man to be able to make an entire arena full of predominantly women bark like a dog.
Yep.
Because at different points he was like, "Oh, oh, oh," and
I'm
the
not
whole
ashamed.
stadium was doing it.
I'm not ashamed that Mingy made me bark.
So yeah, very good.
Great performers.
What I like about the studio tunes, like the dance relay ones, is obviously the single file, and you don't know who's going to get what bit of the choreo or whatever, and they can play with it or be funny or whatnot. But the studio tunes are basically just high definitions of the choreo.
Yeah.
So you get to focus more, and again, like we said, Jungho he's not singing live, so he can concentrate more on
It's choreo and performing, isn't it?
yeah. So I think it's quite nice.
And they always
even if you've seen it before,
really good camera work. I find.
even if you've seen it before, you get to see it in more detail, maybe notice things you didn't before.
Yeah.
So I like the studio tunes for that.
So that was our reaction to ATEEZ answer on Studio Choom. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.